Well, hello everybody. It is now that time. You are watching the Alt-Tab live show. I'm Steve, followed by...
I'm Paul. Are we live?
We are live, sir.
Okay, just making sure.
Excellent. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know you have many options out there to watch streams, including Joanne, who's currently streaming at this exact moment. In fact, Paul, why don't we take a look right now to see how our stream's going?
We're gonna watch Joanne's stream from our stream.
I think it's a good idea.
It's sort of stream within the stream. It's the streamception. That's jokes. I gotta stop saying any. I think I gotta cut out Inception references for.
All right, let's just see. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Newegg TV just went live.
Joanne going strong.
Yeah, she's moved from our friend to our direct competitor. That's real cool.
Justin Fan.
Cool,
oh no,
Joanne.
I'm not logged in as Newegg TV.
I could probably go over there.
Yes, I wanted to be Newegg TV. No, it says I'm Newegg TV. Why is it not letting me talk in here?
Is it because you're on 2 streams at the same time? What is it, WhaleTune?
Yes, WhaleTune, twitch.tv/WhaleTune.
But don't take this to mean that we want you to not watch our stream, watch her stream. We want you to watch our stream, and Joanne's just, she's there too. But
yes, so let me just, can we hear her? Let's see.
Was that they would be able to
tell
Tim's
talking right now.
Moisture content of the ground for certain types of
Damn,
plants.
you
Plants
damn,
will
you
literally tell
damn.
the sensors when they're thirsty.
Was that you? Was that you, Kyle?
The thing that was missing were these inexpensive computers. So you bring these two things
that's
together,
'cause Kyle's logged in
and
too.
they can
Yeah.
irrigate fields more efficiently without using so much water.
Okay, we'll
The
let you
sprinkler
guys.
systems are tied into those,
we're being distracted.
sensors you
Your
were talking
thing.
about, and be more robust.
Kyle, say that for me. I can't say it as Justin Fan 127322.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat and it's
Oh wait,
hilarious.
she's referring to us.
She's talking about us? Joanne's talking about us?
Joanne's talking about us on her Twitch stream right now.
Newegg is streaming this channel right now. Are they?
Yeah.
Are they really?
It's.
No, hold on. No, I see Paul making a comment. One second. Whoa, what's going on?
All right. Newegg. I've heard
Yeah.
of those guys. You gotta look out for those guys.
Bunch of trolls.
Bunch of characters. All right, I'm going to my segment.
Go for it.
All right, right off the bat. We have
We're
less than-
totally just
We're done.
We're
We-
leaving
we've
our
just-
stream behind and ignoring.
We are
All right,
completely
we're-
just
I'm
going off
sorry.
the rails right now, guys. I
sorry.
apologize. We had to though. As soon as I found out that she was doing it at the same time as us, I had to just jump
I
right in there.
didn't expect that from her. I thought we left on good terms, but
Sometimes,
it's just-
What are you gonna do, Paul? So we went to PAX East, right?
Oh yeah, we went to PAX East.
It was a lot of fun.
It was tons of fun. I think I've said this a couple times already, but if any of you guys watching the stream right now were at PAX East and came up and said hello to Steve or I or any of the other folks who were there from Newegg or Newegg TV, thank you guys so much because it was amazing the amount of feedback we got, the number of people who came up to us and just introduced themselves, took a bunch of pictures with people who were there, and it really was like the highlight of my weekend. Just all the people who.
For you, having done it for so many years, you're completely used to it. Like one person.
I'm not.
Well, okay, all right.
I'm not at all.
Let's put it this way. No one recognizes me. Absolutely no one. But to the 4 of you who did, thank you very much. I remember shaking people's hands like, thank you so much for knowing who I am. I barely know who I am. Thank you so much.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I work for Newegg. Yeah,
Scott.
Scott is my middle name, so yes, that's very accurate.
Well, see, I remember.
Somebody
All the
recognized
details.
me.
All the details.
But to that end, actually, you made a great reference to me in the most recent Yoked, and I feel as though I should probably kind of defend myself slightly. Also, I was in a stream, KB Mod. So if there's any KB Modders out there, thank you guys for watching and
you need
always
to defend yourself. Oh, you need to.
I need to put things in some context here, I think.
That's important because we don't want anyone to suspect that you were perhaps not in full control of your faculties.
I was
or
heavily
anything like
inebriated. Let's put it to you that way. But that's
I
because
was trying to give you a way out of that, to be like, no, I just had a few drinks and people thought I was.
I started at the NVIDIA party, which was awesome. Met up with.
You went to the training, right? The
Which
meeting
training?
where they tell us, we got to behave with decorum, responsibility, and be ambassadors for.
I missed that meeting entirely.
Oh, well, then there's nothing that can be done.
I think I was too busy getting involved in parties. So then from
it was before PAX, Steve. Before PAX.
Whatever happened, I don't remember anything prior to PAX. There was pre-PAX and after PAX. I'm in after PAX right now, so
I had so many issues with your memories, Steve.
Okay, so KB Mod did a nice little. You know what? Let me just play it for you guys.
Okay.
Let's take a watch of this. All right, this is KB Mod's podcast.
Also, shout outs to Steve from Newegg for living through the remainder of the weekend after Friday, because
Oh, he go in. Did Steve go in?
Steve was
Yeah.
you cost me everything drunk at
Oh,
like
shit. I wish there.
at like 10 p.m. at the party. Like an hour into this thing, he was So Steve from Newegg, shout outs for living through the day and doing a 12 p.m. stream the next day.
Wow.
I tweeted at him today. I'm like, I'm surprised you remember even meeting me. He's like, yeah, man, I remember everything. It was great. It's like,
Oh,
all right,
Jesus.
dude.
Yeah, so that happened, and they didn't know it, but I'd come directly from Nvidia's party, so I was already pretty blitzed.
So your excuse for having whatever drinks you had was that you actually had other drinks prior to those drinks.
You know,
That
when
makes
you
more
say it
sense.
like that, the logic doesn't really come off the way I thought it would.
It makes perfect sense to me.
It
Steve.
was supposed to be that I didn't show up at the party, just like anyways. Okay, all right. So moving right along. Aside
We
from
had
that,
fun. There were some good parties.
There were some
Thank
good
you
parties.
to our friends from NVIDIA, from Intel, from ASUS, as well who invited us to the parties, because they're always loads of fun. They kept many of them open to the public as well, so a lot of fans were able to go in there, hang out after PAX, and have a good time. So that was really cool.
yeah, specifically Cindy and Nick. Thank you both. We really appreciate
Right.
you. Of course, John from Twitch and Brandon from Twitch. Thank you guys as well as everybody else from KB Mod that I ended up hanging out with at the Twitch party was very cool too. So aside from that, Paul, is there anything happening in the chat that you want to mention, or is there anything there directing your attention towards?
Chad, I think Kyle's insulting people.
Kyle's insulting
chat right
people.
now.
He's under the Newegg TV name right now, so if you guys want to
Kyle is Newegg TV, so let him know of anything.
yes,
Sorry, our bell's going off.
sorry about that.
I was
Audio,
crying because
highest of importance here.
people are giving Kyle props to his quickfire rapid eye video.
Very nice video.
which was so well done. Yes, it's very fun. Go to Kyle's channel, watch his rapid eye video.
Okay.
But cool. Should we get started?
Let's get started on some stories.
some-
'cause this
some
is
tech news?
Just drabble here, and I'm actually going to start with something a little bit science, a little bit physics.
Okay.
It's cool though. I like it. I mean, depending on if you guys like it, I guess will be the end all. But here we go, anyways. So here's a story from the Huffington Post and HuffPo. Basically, what they've done is they've made essentially they're using physics to show flame coming up in the same order that the way that sound pressure would push it.
They set music on fire.
They set music on fire. In fact, let me just kind of play the video here. Maybe
That's
that'll give
amazing.
you guys. It's really cool.
And look, the headlines the first lines talk about a hot beat. Because it's fire. Fire's hot.
Fire is hot.
Exciting. Antinodes and nodes. So it's
Yeah, keep going. I just muted the audio.
It's creating the waveform and pushing the fuel through small gaps. Is that how it's working?
Yep, that's exactly right.
I didn't. By the way, I don't know anything about the stuff Steve's talking about today, so this is all going to be me seeing it for the first time. They're doing it indoors.
Yeah, that was the other
that's
thing I
cool.
found fascinating.
Well,
Very ballsy, actually.
definitely.
So watch him light this thing up.
Oh,
Oof.
nice. Okay.
Now he hooks it up. He's got a speaker right here, right? Actually, two of them, it looks like. And now he's just running different frequencies. Now he's
So the different
raising it and lowering
frequencies
it.
will result in some different patterns that just appear there.
Yep, exactly.
I'm always fascinated with like the patterns that appear in nature.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty
to have a
cool.
different visual representation for something we'd normally hear as sound, right? So this is a visual representation of that sound as it pushes the gas through the small holes that are actually emanating the propane.
And you could
propane.
set this up like a hibachi or something like this.
It'd be a great
There's
hibachi,
some like
wouldn't it?
Korean barbecue on there, or ooh,
Yeah, he pumps it way up.
it's pretty sweet.
So then he's gonna switch it up, do another standing wave here. And you can see it just, as he's upping the frequency, it's just freaking out the fuel, pushing it at different levels. Oh, there's one. I don't know, I think it's so fascinating. He plays music in a moment. Let me try and get to the music section because that was really cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Come on, where's the music at? Okay, so this is music. I'm gonna mute us so you can hear
that's a Kevin MacLeod beat right there.
Oh, it is? Let me let him hear it.
Public.
Go ahead.
That's gonna go out over they can hear that now?
Yeah, they can hear that right now.
Can they hear us right now?
Yeah, they can. I made sure they could. We're a little bit louder than the music.
Can you guys hear me? You hear me okay? Oh, it's getting hazy in here. Kyle's got his e-cig.
His e-cig. Providing some additional fog to this light effect.
So I think you could take something like this and you could sell it to like a club, because this is like what a club would want. They'd want these like in glass cases off to the side, piped in through the sound system, and just fire. And all the people dancing at the club would be like, oh, the fire, the music, and then they
trying to catch laser
and then
beams.
they would buy more drinks. I think that's what it all comes back to.
Okay, so that's basically this story.
Fascinating.
Kill that. And you guys, so I think actually, Paul, did you want to talk about something next? I haven't really prepped your stuff yet.
No, you can go on to your next item.
Just keep going
if you want, or I could ramble. I could ramble about something too. If you want me to just.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to talk about? Did I get you? Never mind. No. That was all just a test. All right. Well, moving right along, I have something that I really think Kyle probably is well aware of. But and for those of you who are not aware of this, this is Viagra dosed champagne flavored ice cream, which means it's champagne flavored ice cream with Viagra in it.
It's a funny picture.
Yeah, they were going for something different. I see that as a clown nose with two bulging eyes. What do you see?
Ice cream.
I see a mistake. It
Delicious ice cream.
So so it packs 25 milligrams, the lowest dosage of Viagra in each scoop. So it's basically the ice cream developed by Charlie Harry Francis of Lick Me I'm Delicious. $225 scoop of glow-in-the-dark ice cream fame. He's the same guy who made the glow-in-the-dark ice cream. It basically is a crazy party here going on. And what is... Jay's sending me something.
Jay's trolling you because he knows that your phone vibrates whenever things happen. So he's just like, haha, Steve.
Jay, you...
Vibrates the table.
You bastard. We should have had you call in today, Jay. That would have been a lot of fun.
Steve's going to turn that off.
And then I'd be like, Jay, look at this, Viagra ice cream. And you'd be like, what are you propositioning me? I don't understand.
So this could potentially be something for Kyle to have after his vaping habit causes him to become impotent.
I thought you were going to say when he goes to like a rave or Coachella. And I was going to say
too.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
it's hot outside first off.
Well,
Let's just analyze this.
It sucks to be impotent at Coachella. I think that's not really where you want to be.
That's the time you do not want to be like that. No, you need, actually it's more for lasting time, I think, for Kyle. I'm not sure that he has a problem, but I would just say that he just wants to last a little longer. And you want to cool off, so the ice cream is great. And Jay said he would eat a gallon of that
just
stuff.
Like Jay's like a participant.
He has a direct line to me. He skips right over Twitter. Just a direct text message straight to me. So those of you out there with my cell phone number, I guess that's the fastest way to get your comments on the show. Okay, so
and maybe drop a fat beat too.
Yeah, you could totally drop a fat beat if I had mine on.
I feel the table vibrating. Okay.
All right. So Paul, what do you think about that? Do you think that's a great idea, mixing something like Viagra in with ice cream? You think that's a safe bet?
Why? Like, it seems more like a gimmick for marketing hype to me, because we're talking about it right now. But really, take some Viagra. Like, what is it for people who can't have pills or something like that? I'm more interested in the champagne flavored ice cream.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
And
like, is it
that
truly
seems
champagne?
Interesting. Yeah, is it really champagne or is it sparkling white? Is it?
Enlighten them, Paul, please.
No, I don't. I feel like a pretentious ass doing something like that.
Let's check the Twitter, because I'm sure at this point Twitter's happening and we're totally dropping the ball on this, guys. So possibly. Paul, do you wanna handle the Twitters while I do some other stuff for a moment?
Okay, let me open Twitter. Dang it, Jay!
Jay, you bastard, you!
I'm not even logged in. I'm not.
Jay's proposed purpose of this ice cream would be to take a girl on a date without letting her know that you need to take it. So you eat the ice cream, and there's no harm, no foul. She doesn't know that you actually need it.
Aha.
So that's a brilliant use case scenario from Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that. Okay. Do we have a live? Raphael wants to know if we have a live stream today. Yes, we do. I'll answer that easily. Change the title of the stream. This is so wrong. What does it say
What's the
right
title
now?
of the stream?
Oh, possibly Denise. Yeah. Okay, so
That's not the stream.
that is not the stream. Never mind. You're right. Stephen
tab.
Paul. Oh, because Stephen Paul and the Viagra joke. I'm a little slow today. I apologize for that.
I don't get it.
Wait. Oh, that's awesome. Ryan Shrout tweets, "What are we doing? What are we doing?"
What are we doing? What? Why?
Oh, Ryan, you should. Oh man, we really should start having guests.
Hey Ryan.
I feel-
Ryan, if you're watching the show, thank you for joining us, and you're awesome.
You
I
are
was,
very
I was
awesome,
reading
sir.
your article from earlier today, testing Mantle with Kabini.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Very cool. What'd you
Yeah.
find out?
I only got a chance to look at it briefly, but Ryan Stroud over on PC Perspective. If you guys aren't familiar with Kabini, those are the Athlon and Sempron processors. So basically AMD launched the AM1 socket. They're for very, very reasonably or low priced or budget or however you want to call that APUs. So they're very inexpensive. You can get an entire motherboard and processor, the processor which is an APU which includes your graphics for like, I want to say $70 to $90 for everything,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. But Ryan was testing it with Mantle because Mantle does really well on platforms that are CPU limited. So he was trying an R7 260X and a 750 Ti. But the 260X, when he went from testing it with the 3960X platform, like a really high-end platform, to the Kabini platform, and using Mantle, it wasn't that much different. The
delta
Kabini,
was,
the Kabini was still a couple frames behind, but considering you're talking about,
Bless you.
God bless you, Kyle. Considering you're talking about your whole platform that's costing less than $100 to a
Right.
3960X, which, I mean, even if you talk the lower end ones of those, that's going to cost you $700-800 for that. Still pretty impressive. So potentially some gaming systems could be built if you're looking for a really budget gaming system that could actually be a reasonable platform, which is cool.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great news. And thanks, Ryan, for continuing to put awesome content like that out here for us to all read and enjoy. Let's see. Skandahad Raj says that he's now watching the Alt-Tab live show right now from his home and sends us a nice little picture of that. Show you guys that in just a moment. Mrs. Wicked Kitty says Viagra ice cream with like one eye open and one eye kind of closed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, that is amazing, right?
Why
Very
not?
different. Let's see. Just a random question from Brian Walker. He asks, is 4K gaming really much more amazing than 1440p, and can't decide if I should make the jump? And I'm going to jump in with this one. You can back up or say what you like. Based on everything you told me, 4K is not going to be great until we can get the 60 hertz refresh rate, at least that.
Yeah.
So 1440p is probably going to have a fast refresh rate, and thus it's going to be a better gaming solution still, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pixel density, it's resolution, it's really, like, for me, the reasons why I do PC, well, there's lots of reasons why I do PC gaming primarily over consoles, but it's the ability to get what's newest, and whenever you're looking at whatever's newest, there's always going to be some roadblocks, some hiccups. Early adopters often have to deal with things not working absolutely perfectly because you got to work out those kinks before you can distribute it to a wider audience, or you can bring the price down when it comes to stuff like manufacturing stuff. But it's beautiful. I mean, a 4K, you look at a 4K display, and I wouldn't say it's quite the jump from standard definition to high definition when we went from like 480 to 1080.
Right.
But it's still it's a very, very noticeable jump. And viewing like natively recorded 4K content, even just video content like we watched over in our hybrid center, they have a 4K display set up that's just amazing and looks beautiful.
It does.
And it's definitely the future. It's definitely where things are going. But yeah, I mean, really, if you're considering building a system right now for 4K gaming, you better have deep pockets and be able to really invest in some high-end hardware, or go for 1440, go for 1600 maybe. Those are still totally viable.
Yeah.
And maybe wait for a little bit for 4K, because I really think it's not until we see more Maxwell stuff, the high-end Maxwell stuff come out from NVIDIA, and then I don't know what AMD possibly has planned coming down the pipeline as well, but they're both going to have new stuff coming along, and
Nice.
and
Yeah,
it will be exciting.
I'm embarrassed to say that I'm still at 1080p, but I'm at 144 hertz refresh rate, and now I'm waiting for a G-Sync monitor so I can up that resolution higher, and then on top of that have G-Sync. So I'm excited either way.
I don't think there's anything at all embarrassing about 1080, Steve.
I mean, everybody that I talk to that games a ton, especially like KB Mod, they're always like, "Oh man, what are you doing? You got to get out of there. 1080p still." Blah.
Yeah.
So
Well, 1440 is a lot more accessible. Like Kyle's monitor, he got QNX. I don't know what the heck that one.
Yeah.
Kyle got one of the Korean monitors. Honestly, you can get those for like less than $300 for a 1440 monitor. A lot of them have really nice panels. They're LG B grade panels, which means that they're pretty much the same. You might have dead pixels to deal with, but we sell those on Newegg now too. I think the marketplace has some of those.
fantastic. You have to go to Korea.
So very
anymore.
very reasonably priced, and if you're looking for high resolution, because that's the thing with 4K. It's not, you're not just saying like, can I buy a 4K monitor? It's not just that. You need the 4K monitor, and you probably need the highest end graphics card you can buy as a single card, or even better, something like a two-way 780s or something like that. You could probably get by with 4K like that right now. But
Okay.
since we're talking a little bit about 4K, Steve, if you don't
Yes.
mind going to the very last item on that list. A quick little note for you guys who might be early adopters, if you've been going with 4K, and one of the best options right now for 4K gaming, if you want a nice large monitor that you can play with 4K out of the box, is the Asus. The model number is just
Wait,
not
what are we
coming
talking
to me.
about? 4K?
The Asus
the one that's the two inputs for
the 31.5-inch Asus 4K monitor.
Okay.
Which uses multi-stream
controllers?
transport and display ports. So it's got two controllers, and it treats it as two separate screens. NVIDIA has a hotfix that addresses this issue most recently. Update to the GeForce 337.61 beta, specifically to address these 4K issues, because people who have those monitors will sometimes see only one of the screens pops up, or only one side of the screen pops up. And apparently it also fixes the code 43 error messages that some users have been seeing after installing the 337.50 beta drivers. So
Good stuff.
quick little update for the one of you who is currently running the Asus P. Why can't I remember the model number of that right now?
I never remember
I've
mine
been using it a
either.
bunch. Actually, it's right there.
BG24 or something.
It's
for
right
mine.
there.
And it doesn't say it on the
Doesn't
front. There's
say it
no
on the front.
stickers, no nothing. Asus isn't about stickers.
Asus.
They don't need stickers.
I must find this out. Asus.
All right. So while you're doing that, I got a couple more questions on Twitter.
PQ321Q.
Oh, the 321. That's like the easiest one for us to remember too. God,
It's the Q's and the P's that confuse me. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, Riley asks, hey, Steve and Paul, could I use an NVIDIA GTX 760 with an i5 3570K? Of course you could, yes. And I also have a 750 watt power supply. Definitely you could.
Yeah.
We usually stick to 750s to 800s, 850s. Those are good, and they're good priced, and you're going to be okay with even SLI setup or Crossfire setup for most systems.
And that'd be a really nice solution too. A great combo there.
That is seriously Paul approved right there.
3570K and a GTX 760.
Yeah.
That's
That's a great
solid
pairing.
setup.
Yeah. Okay, Riley has one other question. When you guys had your build off at PAX, would you guys ever have a larger build off? You know, like having 5+ people. Are you saying? I'm going to need some clarification, Riley, in either the chat or via Twitter. If you could just let the man Kyle over there know. Specifically, are you saying 5 sets of people doing single builds? Or are you saying 5 people running against the clock, or teams? I just need to know what you're saying. I'm going to go off this saying that you're saying one person building one system 5 at a time. I can tell you based on that, Twitch will probably not have that on their stage. Their stage is massive, first off, compared to a lot of other places based on what we've seen at PAX. And they still barely had enough room for us because they need to have 2 stages, essentially. They need to have one stage prepped, ready for the next set of people to come up, and then the stage that's currently live. and that's so that they can continue giving you, what is it, like 16 hours of coverage or whatever they did per day. That way you're just constantly going to the next one. Otherwise, there'd be a ton of downtime while the next stage is being set up.
It was amazing, by the way, the Twitch backstage setup. They run a really tight ship from everything I had experienced there.
Yeah.
5 people each doing their own build against time.
5 people each doing their own build against time. Yeah,
So
I mean,
it'd be
that
5 times the time length.
That'd be a space issue, I think, for the most part. Most of these events, when we go out and we're there live, we are so tight on space. It's like we managed to bring a table out and set it up and have everyone crowd around.
Yeah.
Twitch was nice because we were kind of separated a little bit. Not that we wanted to be separated, but just because having a bunch of people like right up there at the table makes it a little bit more difficult. And Luke's horse mask, was swaying all over the place and stuff.
Yeah, no, keep going. That's great. The horse head was so. Did you know that he was going to do that prior? Because the way Luke prefaced it to me was, knowing that I was going to be shoutcasting it with Mike from Lucha Customs. He says, "Steve, I'm not going to be able to talk very much on the stream." And I'm thinking, why? Luke is awesome on camera. There's no way he's going to be nervous. Why? And so I just said, "Are you doing anything crazy?" He's like, "Yeah, there's going to be some fun involved." And I got a little nervous for a second because I wasn't sure what he was going to do. And he just said, "No, just imagine like I have a mouthful of food. You're not going to be able to hear me very well." And that was actually a really good descriptor without telling me anything at all, because I had no idea then. Is he going to froth at the mouth? Like, I didn't know what he was going to do. But yes, that's great.
That is
picture.
Interesting.
This is my picture from, if you guys look down, right down here, you can see I've gotten a picture from Robin and
there's some weird horizontal
shifting that he's done with this picture
going on there.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so I actually watched the live stream that Luke and Linus did like a week prior, and they were kind of hinting at that they had some shenanigans in the store or something like that they were doing. So I was a little bit like, all right, what do you guys got going on? Because it's live, and anything can happen live. So he didn't tell me, but he was kind of hinting at it, or he was trying to set me at ease. Luke's like so nice. Like, both of us were just like everyone wants us to hate each other, and somehow.
No, don't let us.
But he was trying to let me know, like, don't worry, it's not going to be anything that you're going to have to deal with. It's all just something that's going to happen to me. But I managed to work it out like 5 minutes before. And actually, when we had Luke on our show, was that last week?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was 2 weeks ago.
Was it?
Yeah, because we were gone last week.
Right.
Last week was.
Time is lost on us, guys.
was Jenny and Chez on here.
Yeah, 2 weeks. You're right.
When we had Luke on 2 weeks ago, and we were talking to him, and Linus like rolled up behind him with the horse mask on, and we're like, "Oh, speaking of trolling and stuff like that." But actually, that was what tipped me off, and I was like, "You're gonna do the horse mask, aren't you?" But he said they had various ideas for what to do with the shenanigans at the live stream. The idea I kind of liked, although it would have been somewhat impractical, was Luke said they were gonna like tape a couple extra video cards to his legs or something like that. And like after we started, he was just gonna like pull out 2 more video cards and do like a 3-way SLI setup or something. But
nice.
But then I picked 780 Ti's from EVGA to use, and I think he might have had a harder time getting a couple of those just for a little live stream joke. Yeah. Although that would have been very funny.
Hell yeah, it would have been. Yeah. I also like the idea you guys kind of joked around with later too, is possibly doing a competition in the future blindfolded.
Yes, I was
cool.
considering whether or not we should say that. No, it's a good idea. None of you steal our idea. It's our idea, and we came up with it.
It's been recorded.
Yeah, Luke and I were talking a little bit about that backstage afterwards, and we're like, that went surprisingly smooth, especially considering that Luke had to look through the nostrils in the horse mask. But we were like, because he kept talking about like, certain things that were easier than he expected, like the graphics card, dropping it in there. He put his hand on the side of the graphics card and felt the PCI Express slot so that he could drop it into the slot, and a few other things like that. And then that kind of got me thinking. I was like, you could do a blind build, like without anything, just by feel.
I'll say all your other ideas, because they were really good.
Yeah, so we had some other ideas for how to work out certain things, like how you'd tell screws apart and that sort of thing, and how to work with front panel connectors. So nothing planned.
Space age.
Nothing. I was just gonna say nothing planned right now.
Yeah.
But that's something we might bring out in the future.
So I've got a couple more things to add here. Lou wants to know about a Swift. If it's worth waiting for, and I know I've heard of that before, but right now off the top of my head, I can't remember the reference.
Taylor Swift?
No.
ROG Swift.
ROG Swift.
So,
okay, that makes more sense.
Wait, is that what I saw in the other room the other day? Is that is that out yet?
Please look into that. I thought. Well,
Oh,
don't say
no, it's a
that if
monitor.
Yeah, I was
It's a
gonna say,
monitor.
if it's that is exactly what I was referring to. The AOG monitor.
Oh, it's a
ROG monitor.
ROG monitor. So what is it? 27-inch.
Lou, I'm really excited
This is
about
from
that.
CES.
That is something I would love to do. I know that's only that we do not have. Okay, first off, let me
Steve
clarify. We do
loves
not have that in the other room because
Yeah,
I
we
know for a
don't.
fact that that's not coming out for a couple more months. Not just because we'd be breaking NDA to tell you that, but because I also got a tweet from somebody at ASUS that said that it's going to be a couple months away or a few months away.
Okay.
So yeah. So
if that was tweeted live, then we can say that.
Right.
So if you guys want to know, I pulled up
Yeah,
some
please, shoot.
specs here
Go
real
ahead.
quick. This was shown at CES 2014. It's the PG278Q Swift gaming monitor, 27-inch 1440 monitor, so 2560 by 1440 display with G-Sync integrated and 120 hertz. I'm wondering what panel type it is.
Well, it's got to be TN.
If it's 120, it's probably TN.
Yeah.
But yeah, so higher resolution, G-Sync, and 27-inch, I guess. So
Yeah.
so good size for gaming. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That's the one I'm holding out for.
So you're I'm holding out for. I'm holding out for something that's probably never going to happen, like 4K, IPS, or a similar higher quality display
not
with
gonna be gaming with it
better
then?
color depth. No, like I said, my requirements are impossible. Like 120 hertz or 144 hertz, G-Sync and FreeSync enabled, so you can use it with NVIDIA or AMD cards.
Yeah.
And 30-inch probably. I like my 30-inch panel at home, so
And
about
fully
that.
adjustable, and also
Oh, yeah,
has
it's-
feet warmers. And
Oh yeah,
back
and then it's
massaging.
got to be like that thin, like that thin, so like from the sides, so you can put it.
so
and
ASUS, if you're watching-
and it must generate no heat at all. Just keep piling this on, and it doesn't use electricity either. And completely wireless. This is
No, yeah, wireless while you're at it.
I need to make this monitor wireless. So like you can use it for your computer, or you can walk
God.
up to it with your phone, and your phone just connects wirelessly.
So you want MHL? You want
Wireless MHL.
Wireless MHL. Oh my God. Yeah.
This
So
is,
Paul wants the impossible. If there's a PM out there at ASUS,
I'm just saying that's
or anyone
that's
else
what
out
it's
there.
gonna take for me.
So this is actually a really cool question. from
Alternatively,
Riley.
a reasonably priced 4K monitor for $600 or $700, which we're starting to see.
Very cool. Good. I'm glad you went from like the complete opposite end of the spectrum. and
Well,
just said
just something that we might actually be able to
Yeah.
buy this year.
Otherwise, Paul's never going to get out of whatever monitor he's currently using.
I really like my 2560 by 1600.
Yeah, it's a
It's-
nice monitor.
It's IPS. The response time isn't like amazing, but I don't even notice very much for gaming. Okay.
All right, so quick question from Riley. He wants to know who were your guys' idols in your teenage years? Was it anybody in the tech industry?
I favorited that one too. If you
Oh, did you? Okay, let me bring that right up.
idols in teenage years, and was it tech? Oh, that's a good question. If I was going to say a tech specific person in teenage years, I think this would count. I started reading Maximum PC pretty early on. That was like one kind of my in my college years and times when I didn't really have very much money to actually buy any gaming hardware or PC hardware. That was like how I kind of tried to keep in touch with what was going on and stuff. So I like Gordon Ung. He's been a long time editor.
Oh, okay.
Gordon Ma Ung from Maximum PC, and I don't know if I would say idol, but I mean he's somebody I looked up to. I appreciated his candor and his forthrightness with the way they would describe things, and
Cool.
they never hesitate to pan something if it's terrible, or to give something praise if it's good, and a lot of like the sort of the mentality about PCs and computer building.
Yeah.
I think I took from them, because like for me, for the longest time I didn't care about aesthetics. Like give me a fast performing machine, put the side panel on it and set it in the corner, like who cares. So it probably wasn't until Kyle joined us and I was like, okay, maybe it should look pretty too from time to time, at least if we're doing video. I want it to look nice. But
Be a spectacle.
yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going to say strictly tech speaking, I liked his writing and things he had to say and that sort of thing.
Okay.
You have anybody in
Well,
mind?
actually, I was going to say I at the time I wasn't really focused on people. It was more like sites. So Tom's Hardware, back before the original Tom sold it, I was a huge fan of Tom's Hardware, and right? Like, am I remembering history
As
properly?
you said, sold it, not sold out.
Yeah. No, no. Okay. So my understanding is the original owner sold whatever shares he had of whatever the company was at the time that he sold it, which I don't even remember the date. And then he walked away from the company. And then since then, it's some would say it's deteriorated. I would just say it's changed.
We're friends with them.
Yeah. We are friends with him. He's awesome. But don't get me wrong. Like, I would have said him initially, but I feel like Anand was also around at the beginnings too.
Oh yeah, Anand.
Yeah, and so I didn't ever make the connection that obviously AnandTech comes from the man's name Anand, because I didn't know, because like I said, I wasn't following people. I was just looking at the sites and just reading everything, and not like an educated person like yourself, and actually saying, who wrote this article and why do I like it so much? Especially nowadays with sites, there's not one person writing the articles. There's a whole team of writers. So if you like the way a particular author writes an article, then you're going to want to maybe follow their work, especially if they're only freelancing. Maybe they're doing writing in something else. But yeah, because I was just such a young kid, I was having a blast with it, and that was like my thing. I also liked PC Gamer a lot, but magazine. But I would say probably in terms of an idol, I didn't really have one. I just liked certain websites that I looked up in terms of tech. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate for me. Idols. You were
I'm
gonna
just
do a
trying. Well, I
reference.
mean, if we're going back to like high school years, I'm trying to think of like who did I actually look up to back then. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually.
Like 2 seconds before the end of the show, you're gonna say it. I know it.
I was gonna say Bill Watterson, but I kind of went on a rant about him a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna bring that up again.
So you have some tweets you want to mention? Sorry. I've got
Apulu Felgar asks, I'm thinking of buying a 1440p monitor. Will my dual MSI Performance Edition GTX 670 with a third be able to push it? I'd say you're fine with two. If you're talking about you have two 670s and can you do a third? Actually, can the 670 even do three-way? Gosh, I can't recall off the top of my head. But yeah, if you have two, you're fine. I think you'd be fine with two. Check, use GPU-Z, go to the sensors, run some games that you're playing, see how much memory you're using. If you're pushing past 2 gigs, which I don't think you would, you might at 1440p depending on the game. If you're pushing past 2 gigs, then you might consider something else, because really if you're using up all of your frame buffer, there's not a whole lot you can do besides getting another card that has more of a frame buffer, because adding another card will only add the memory for that card that you add, and you still will use the same amount of memory on both cards. But yeah, I'd say get the. I mean, if you're gonna get the 1440 monitor, get that first. Try it with the cards that you have. See what your experience is like. Run some tests, and then take it from there.
Yeah, it's a good call.
But yeah, I'd say definitely rather than buying a third 670, if that's really what you're considering, or if that's even possible. I wish I knew that off the top of my head. I have one over there. Maybe I could pull it up. But yeah, then I think I finished my thought, right? Okay.
I just wait for you to finish, and then I just go when you're done. So
how many days in a row have you worked, Steve?
I think you said on the show 29, so that makes 30
No,
today.
I was just throwing a
Today's
number out
1
of
plus, so.
Yeah, Monday,
I don't
Tuesday,
know.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is your 12th day in a row. I was going to say me too, but I'm actually more like 9 or 10 because I actually missed a day the week before PAX. But
So just a couple quickie questions, and then I got to get back to the stories, guys. Although I love talking with you, we just want to try and keep the show going. Trey TV asks, "Hey Steve, can I borrow an R9 295X2 and never return it?" Well, I mean, we do technically have one right here. If you want to, careful, easy. I grabbed it right by the hoses. So if you were to just want to take this, I mean, no, you can't do that, Trey. No, you can't. But moving right along, Luke Tyler wants to know, I have a technical question, please answer. I have a Maximus 4 Hero, and I tested it outside the box. The start is all I get in his message. He must have ran out of characters, and then he didn't hit send it. Oh, there it is. The power start lit up, and I pressed it, and the fan never spun for the CPU. please help. I think he's saying.
You have a short, or you have something that's not seated all the way.
Yep.
Or
Memory,
you have a bad
CPU,
part.
card. Yeah, I would remove as many components as you can in that particular board. I have that board. Remove the video card if you can. Pull out every single stick of memory you can. I think DIMM 0 is 1 away from, or it's the first 2
on the M4.
1. It's an Asus board, so they skip a DIMM slot, right?
Usually your number 1 slot will be a space away. Yes.
Okay, so then pick the one that's 1 away from the CPU. Put the memory into that. Make sure you're pushing it in properly. Make sure they line up properly with the slots. I'm assuming you can do all that, and then start it up just using the onboard iGPU. Asus systems, when you hit the power button, they're going to not spin up for a moment. Don't freak out and hit the power button like 5 times. Let it sit, and then it'll start up again. So it starts, stops, and then starts again. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to some more tech stories?
I would love to do that, and then we can go back to Twitter in a little bit, guys. Okay, so next story. What do we have now? I never actually realized the name of this website was the Christian Science Monitor. I hope that doesn't affect the quality of the story. So the story's title is "Scientists Might Have Figured Out How to Make Solar Power Work at Night." And the briefness I can give you in terms of this is that they're using carbon nanotubes in some way to, let me just read it from them, by attaching photo-switching molecules called azobenzene to a template of carbon nanotubes. Scientists have designed a solar thermal fuel that can release heat on demand. Basically, a photo switch is a type of molecule that can exist in 2 different configurations. But basically, after it absorbs that solar energy, both in the form of light, I'm guessing, and heat, the structure of the photo switch becomes strained, and then by using a catalyst or by increasing the temperature, these molecules bounce back to their original structure, releasing heat along the way. And their idea is they're going to basically be able to hopefully push it, because it's only about 1/3 the power that can be released in terms of energy density that a lithium-ion battery can give. So bottom line is they just need to give it 3 times as much density, energy density as it currently has. And then after that, it'll be at least as powerful as lithium-ion batteries, which would mean that you could charge up solar energy during the day and store it overnight. That's typically the most difficult thing with solar energy is storage. You can't really store solar energy very well, but bottom line is they'll be able to store it overnight and then maybe release it in the form of heat, which could in turn turn into something else. I mean, it's not electrical, we're still talking heat, but maybe that would mean you have warm water over the night. I mean, make hoses that are made out of this material and lay them across the entire top of your house, just like you've seen everyone else doing with their solar water heating, and then it would just store that energy overnight, and then as you needed it, it would just maybe need a little bit of heat or some kind of catalyst, and boom, release the heat into the water, warm your water, hot water while you shower, and you did it without even needing to be on the grid, which is always awesome. Anytime you get off the grid, that's phenomenal. So Paul is over here playing with Legos.
Did you say catalyst, Steve?
I did say catalyst.
You know, AMD catalyst drivers are updated
That's fantastic.
monthly to increase your. Sorry,
Paul, you could have just kept going with that.
I could have, but I was trailing off, and
But trailing off is funny.
well, that's what I did then.
Okay, then there you go.
Hilarious. So,
Hilarious.
no, that's pretty cool though.
No, that's awesome.
What you said about the sun
You like that?
and things.
Was that pretty interesting? Do you want me to just talk to you real quick about cutting cables?
Yes,
record?
I
Wanna do that?
like cable cutting discussions.
So this happened. Netflix and Hulu are starting to kill cable, according to some numbers that they're seeing here.
Yes.
Cord cutting, if you guys don't know already, it basically means you're dipping away from any kind of cable service. It would probably include anything from Verizon as well, even though they're just a cable provider, TV provider, I should say, right?
Well, I have Verizon, so
Sure,
I have
okay.
FiOS. They gave me free HBO for it till like June.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they find out you were Paul from Paul's Hardware, and they were like,
No, I think they did it for everyone, at least in my area. But it's really cool. I'm like watching Game of Thrones on the legit.
On the legit is good,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like it's better. Plus
Not that I ever did otherwise in the past.
Well, because you heard of friends of yours that were doing that.
Yes,
and
I
you were
would. I
always-
would have to go Visit Steve. I'm sorry for making you mad, Trey.
You don't have to go visit Steve because I have it, not because I downloaded, is what you were going to say. Okay, so yeah, so in fact, they're actually seeing that some young adults may never even pay for cable TV in their lifetime. So I'm actually curious. Finally, a legitimate question to you guys in the chat room that you can answer for us, and Kyle will relay that information back to us. I want to know how many of you out there that maybe you lived at home for a while and you've moved out, you've gone to college, whatever you've done, and now you're living on your own, you're doing your career, paying back your immense student loans, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't need to pay for cable TV, I'll just buy the internet and get anything I need through that. How many people out there have not paid for cable TV or Verizon or AT&T or any of the TV providers? I'm just curious, how many of you in the chat right now are don't plan to or have not currently? I'll give it to you both, because I actually am curious how many people are actually not planning to do it. I tried for a little bit, and if I swear to God, if I was still a bachelor, I probably wouldn't. But the main reason why is because I don't know, we pay a ton for our TV, man, and I probably watch 10% of the channels that I pay for, only because the way they package it, you have to pay for it all to get HBO, to get AMC, to get the channels that you watch, to watch the shows you want to watch, and they know that.
It's a brilliant marketing.
It totally
scheme.
is. No, it's amazingly intelligent. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're going to do what they're going to do, but man, imagine if they cut it up a little bit differently.
Yeah. I'm seeing lots of people saying, I've never paid for cable and I never will.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the negativity surrounding like cable plans and cable provider plans or something like that is something due to, as you were kind of saying, the outdated business model. Like you realize I'm paying for this crazy package of channels and I watch 2 shows. Like, how does that make sense when you can just go online and they have a la carte services to just buy something or something like that? But also,
and that's the consumer perspective.
Yeah,
so
but I think that also kind of translates over to a lot of the stuff that's been going on with internet service providers lately, and them trying to sort of change the game by introducing legislation that allows them to limit certain services from coming to your house. And I really think what they're trying to do is use the current power that they have right now before it slips away, before people, more and more people start dropping off and not taking them, to maintain the monopolies they have in many areas where you have a single service provider you have to go with, but also to sort of warp the current structure of the internet and the way that you pay to get internet service to you to fall into that old model and make you be like, oh, you want Netflix? Well, pay us this amount and you'll have Netflix and like all these other websites that you don't go to, but you have to pay us more because it's a package with all those things, like something like that.
Well, I think that the other side of that, talking about packaging TV, they're going to get paid what they're going to get paid now because they all have investors that expect income coming back to them, and at the very least as a company they want to make money, and they should. As a company, that is obviously your primary goal, and keeping customers happy is supposed to help you make more money. So although it's customer happiness is like the guys behind some companies, but the reality is it's just that you keep coming back to make money, and I get it. That's fine. I'm not demonizing it by any means. But what I was going to say was that what would happen is, okay, you want to have your own channels. That's fine. The channel you want is $55 a month. It's really funny though, because if you were to just buy the whole package, it's also $55 a month.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, finally I get what I want. No, dude, you're just going to pay the one stinking channel that you want to pay for $55 a month, and then maybe 2. Now you're paying $120 or $110. I mean, and now you're going to be like, oh, I'm only $10 off what I was getting before, plus I'm not all the other channels I was going to get. So from the company's perspective, they're going to do it one way or another. They're going to get their money one way or another. So I like the idea that it's packaged together. I wish it wasn't, and I wish it was priced the same as it would be if I were to fractionize that all up and just partition it up to, this is what I want to pay for, and this is the partition of my bill I want to pay for. The other flip side of that, in terms of the internet and them trying to control it, which is what you were saying before, I strongly believe that we as users, I really wish we could just make our own network and just almost like almost our own WAN that we could have.
That's starting.
Like I would really. It started. Someone's doing that already.
Yeah.
I mean, because like Google, for instance, creating their own ISP. Why do they need to connect it to the internet when they could say, you know what, all the governments are screwing us over. I don't need to worry about it anymore. Let's just make our own network. Like, let's just make the Google network. And if you want to connect into YouTube and anything else, just connect to the Google network. And it'll connect into the same lines that everyone else is getting at their households right now. The difference is they're going to work deals to run their own lines, so they don't even have to worry about it anymore. That would be phenomenal if we did that. And it would start out really small and only certain areas would get it. And bear with me, it would suck at the beginning. But you know what though? To get away from all this, to get away from all the problems that we're having, imagine just having our own network, guys. Like, you come over to my house for a LAN and using my NAS. It's like that. Why do we even need it? I don't know. I'm going on a rant. I'm going to get off
mad.
this. I'm going to calm down.
Mad.
I'm going to drink some more of my vodka.
Why did you guys make Steve mad?
That's
Now we'll have to deal with the repercussions. Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
I agree, Steve. We could continue on that, but I think it's something that's been discussed a lot. If you're into that topic and you're not already familiar, Tech Syndicate, Logan and Wendell and Kane.
They said the same thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
They covered that subject a lot.
Thoroughly.
Almost to the point where now they're separating their content out, so people who are more interested in the hardware side can just watch that versus talking about all the politics involved with the internet and ISPs and all that kind of stuff that's been going on lately. So,
Nice.
So yes. But we got a few more tech
stories, and then
that
we'll
we
just
can talk about.
We'll play around with you guys for a little bit. Yeah, it's 3:52. Wow, how fast the
Don't be
time
excited,
flies when
Steve.
when you-
Like, man, it's almost over.
I'm upset actually.
The weekend's almost here.
I hate this guy. Yeah, we got plans, the wife and I, and she's got her cousin coming in. It's really cool. Diana Falzone, actually, if you guys are familiar with Diana Falzone, she was on Maxim for a little bit. She also worked with Cosmopolitan, Cosmo magazine. I forget the name of the magazine. I think it's Cosmo. And she was on Sirius satellite radio doing some shows. Anyways, we're gonna be hanging out with her.
You're hanging out with Diana Falzone.
Falzone, yes. Google her. She's really cool.
Google image search
Yes.
here.
I forgot to mention she's probably watching too right now. I thought I'd.
She's watching right now?
I tweeted to her. I don't know if she actually got the tweet, and I know she knows that we do the show, so it's a possibility.
She is an attractive woman.
She is a very beautiful woman. Yes. Okay, so moving right along, I have a little something to show you guys. If you have family members out there that are XP addicts and they just do not want to use anything else but XP because that's what they use. If you know them, if you know that all they're doing is just going on the internet and tooting around with emails and whatnot, why not jump on?
Did you say tooting around?
Tooting around on the emails, you know. Tooting? Tooting is something else. I used it improperly, but I still was insinuating
If
something.
all you want to do is fart around on the internet, then sorry, that's my bad. Please continue, Steve. You're
Yes.
trying to help people.
Yes, I'm definitely trying to. It looks like Kyle wants to come hang out with us later. Turns out I see Kyle is Googling images. Anyways, sorry, Diana. I apologize. You have an incredibly intelligent brain as well. So Ubuntu is a Linux flavor, and they are kind of letting you guys know right now that 14.04 LTS is available for download as of yesterday. You guys can pick this up, and they've done some nice improvements, a slicker experience, to quote them, with improvements to the Unity, which is their user interface. The release is also going to include all the tools required for business use, including remote delivery of applications, compatibility with Windows file formats, browser-based cloud solutions, and the Microsoft Office compatible LibreOffice suite, which OpenOffice will also work with. I'm not familiar with LibreOffice myself.
It's very similar.
It's very similar?
I have not used it, but from everything I've heard, it's just very
Okay.
Office alternatives.
Good, yeah. But this is, just a free alternative to your family members that maybe are just stuck on whatever it is they're using. You could do them a huge favor and just grab one of your old hard drives and bring it over and install Ubuntu for them. So this way, if they don't like it, you can just swap that hard drive right back again, and they're back on old XP.
I don't know how familiar you have become with this, Steve, from the article or whatnot, but would this potentially be a solution for workplaces or maybe small businesses?
Yeah,
'cause I know
business is different though. You got to remember, with a business, you need to be able to interact with as many people as you possibly can. So
Yeah.
when you limit yourself with the OS, and I'm sorry to say this, Linux, you guys know this is why you dual boot. You'll usually not have access to a lot of the Windows-based software that you may be using for business. So if a company says to you, oh, here's this file for, say, some program, and specifically, let's say Word, because I know that Word doesn't always open properly on OpenOffice, so I'm sure that LibreOffice is very similar. Sometimes it opens it and the file format's all weird. You don't want to send that back to them in an errored format compared to what they were seeing it in, or change it to make it look good on yours, and now it's messed up on Microsoft's Word. And I'm sure that's what Microsoft is working towards. They don't want you to be able to seamlessly use something free when they want you to pay for it. Besides, there's deals for those of you out there that still have EDU emails. You can get it for relatively inexpensive.
Wish I had an EDU email.
Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, it would be cool to have one because there's a lot of deals you can
A lot
get.
of colleges let you keep it.
No, not mine.
Not yours, yeah. Mine neither. Yeah, they put a stop to that. I have a funny story if you want to hear this one.
Okay.
Moving right along. Let's see, where am I? I'm at Ars Technica. So this story is about a Twitter parody account holder that was sought in a police raid.
Oh.
So here is Jim Ardis. He's the mayor of I always say
Peoria?
Peoria. Thank you, Peoria.
think.
Peoria. I always want to say Peoria.
Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria, Illinois. Yes. So, bottom line is there were several people that were arrested, 5 in total on Tuesday when they were taken in for questioning, according to a local media report. Quote from one of them said, They just asked me about the Twitter account and they wanted to know if I knew anything about it. That's from Michelle Pratt, 27. She also said they, quote, brought me in like I was a criminal. They said that they had a search warrant and they took all the electronic devices that had internet access.
Did they have a search warrant?
They said they had one.
They said they
Of course,
had.
they
I mean,
had
that's
in
a
the quote.
that's a pretty major oversight there. How do you
Yeah, if you
get
don't
a
ask
search
for it.
warrant for a parody Twitter account?
He's the mayor. He probably was the one that said, Judge, help me out here. And the judge is like, okay.
That's abuse of power,
Well,
right there.
it is technically illegal, according to here, to impersonate, where is it? Let's see, the police chief, Steve, oh boy. Wow, this guy's name actually has the word settings in it.
Settings guard.
Settings guard. That is an awesome last name.
I'm gonna make software called that.
This is settings guard. This is brought to you
would
by
prevent
Settings
you
Guard.
from changing your settings. It's settings guard.
I like that, actually. That's really good. Okay, anyway.
That or
so-
it's like a city in Westeros. Like, we'll ride to settings guard
Go!
and lay siege to them.
They will not see what's happening at... Okay, sorry. The chief said that the department was investigating misdemeanor charges of impersonating a public official, which carries a maximum 1-year jail term and $2,500 fine. But yeah, so anyways, they're saying that they went to great lengths to make it look as if it was really him. They had like the mayor's picture, his email address, his biography, and that recently they changed it to say that it was a parody, but I guess before that they didn't say it was. First off, it was Twitter. Like, depending on their we should actually look this up. How many followers are on this? Let's just find out real quick.
Yep.
Fail.
You're broadcasting your searches.
That's okay.
That's cool. Maybe the account's been shut down. I
Oh,
can
it
see
did.
people-
It got-
no,
it
see,
got-
look at the @ sign. Here you go. Oh,
Nope. Yeah. See, it's
gone.
been suspended. Well, let's assume that they had enough pull in Illinois that was a big problem. Let's say I don't know, but anyways, they were making the person that was the Twitter was basically trolling. The person that had control of it was basically trolling the mayor, saying that he was doing drugs and alluded to sex and drugs basically in the tweets, which is pretty funny.
That
I
is
think that's
funny.
pretty
Sex
funny.
and drugs are very funny.
Yeah.
You know what this
so-
reminds me of?
What's that?
Hop Hog.
Why?
Because I was looking at that and it said the newspaper is called Illinoisian or something. Illinoisan. And
Illinois.
I was thinking, oh, that's an Indian word, and then that made me think of Hop Hog.
Hauppauge is a nice city.
If you guys have a TV tuner card from
Oh,
from
Hauppauge.
that
Oh my God!
company,
I thought
it's
you were talking
Hauppauge.
about a city.
No, Hop Hog.
And yeah, never mind.
Because this
bad.
is the I've had to pronounce many names of computer parts or brands or random names that they come up with things, and they're always different, because if you can come up with a word that no one's ever used before, then you can copyright it. And
Do you want to call it
and do all this
Hoppage
stuff.
or something?
Yeah,
like
I always want to say like uppage or something like
Hoppage.
that. And I only found out, gosh, where was it? It was
Probably at an event.
At an event we
Sure.
were at, and I actually talked to the guys, and they're like, yeah, it's Hop Hog. I was like, what?
Man, I
But it's
should
an
know
Indian
that.
word, so that's how you pronounce it.
Nice.
Hop Hog.
I like
Anyway.
Seton too. Seton's good.
Seton.
Yeah. And I was saying that wrong forever too.
Satan.
I would just like not Cretan. I think I Keton, something
Keaton.
Keaton, Seton. I think I was saying Seton. That's what I was saying. Versus Seton. I was saying Seton. Yeah. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a great title. Like a rock, new concrete could last a lifetime. This particular concrete was invented by someone really intelligent, and I missed his name here in the Scott Musinski. He decided to take concrete, right, and then mix it with
Viagra?
No, with super hydrophobic qualities of something else. So like hydrophobic things are things where water just beads off of it continually. A lot of us have seen things like that when we're trying to take our devices and seal them so that you don't have to damage them from water or get any kind of corrosion from water as opposed to the oxygen in the air, I guess. But bottom line is, his idea is basically to make it last like a really, really long time. Like first off, the Romans had the first use of concrete, and that stuff lasts quite a long time. But there's cracks and everything. That he's trying to make something that is going to completely shun water and keep it from going inside. Because basically, what happens is in concrete, and this is just my layman knowledge about it, the screen is flashing. Okay, is it still flashing? Let me go back. Let's go here. I'm gonna do that. How's that? Is that better, Kyle? Nope. Is anybody else seeing the screen? Everybody else is seeing the screen flash.
It's flashing.
We're going to wrap this up as quick as possible so I can go troubleshoot this here in just a moment. Until then, let me finish up my thought about concrete. So basically the concrete
water goes
cracks.
in and it freezes and it causes cracks because the water expands when it freezes.
Paul just does it so fast. That's why I like listening to Paul talk to me about things. I'm just like, Paul, tell me things.
That's what she said.
So anyways, but there's also other concrete, I wouldn't even say concrete, but things out there that can be used to actually work with the environment, which I like a little bit better than this idea. In that essence, the essence of working with the environment would be water goes through the concrete. Because ideally you want the water to seep through it. So, I mean, obviously when floodplains rise or when flooding comes up, then the water can stay on top of concrete and actually start flooding everywhere, but you really just want it to sink in. And if you have a concrete that works with nature versus against it, it's probably safer. But this would be great. This would be fantastic. I imagine even for transporting water in large tubes underground would be great for that too, since it's clearly waterproof as well, so it's not going to seep at all or whatnot. So yeah, so I found that very interesting. Paul, do you have a couple more stories or any other stories you wanted to mention?
Not really. I had pulled one up which is about the MSI Z97 motherboards that were leaked.
I can bring that up real quick just to just have something to look at.
Oh, you know what? I linked you the wrong story.
Yes, you did.
I did. I linked you the old one that was up there a while ago.
So these and I don't even know if we can say leaked, right? Because we don't really know for a fact anything about this. So.
Well, however they got the information, they got it, and it wasn't supposed to happen yet.
Right, exactly.
From our understanding.
It is the same website.
It's the same website, which is why I thought I had it right, but I didn't click on it and actually do it right. Are you searching for it now?
I'm trying.
I pasted it in the thing right there.
That's way faster. Thank you.
That works for you.
That works way faster for me.
Highlight, copy, paste, technology.
And
all right. So if you guys. Let me try to do a quick rundown of the 9 series, or at least what we know, what we understand so far, what we have heard broadcast on the internet, but we cannot actually confirm or deny it for absolutely sure. But the Intel's coming out with a 9 series of motherboards, so that would be Z97 would be the chipset that you're most interested in. Other chipsets that have been talked about are H97, which would be more geared towards not overclocking your processor, and particularly if you're using the integrated GPU there. We're also expecting an X99 to be coming out at some point in the future, but that's for the enthusiast platform, probably not till later this year. What we're probably going to be seeing very soon, and according to the articles, they're talking about May timeframe, is the launch of the Z97 boards. These are still going to be socket 1150, so they will still work with existing Haswell processors if they're socket 1150 4th gen Haswell. They're coming out with a Haswell refresh, or basically another set of Haswell processors. From what I've seen so far, what I've heard so far, what's been rumored so far, we're looking at basically taking the current lineup and bumping up some of the clock speeds and that sort of thing, so you might be able to get a little bit faster. They also having something called Devil's Canyon, which is a Pentium. I hope it's Pentium. I think it's Pentium 4.
I think it is too.
Homage, because it's been like 10 years, I think, since that launched, something to that effect. That's kind of exciting because the JJ actually a while back sort of suggested that this would be a really cool thing to see, which is a much lower priced unlocked K-SKU processor from Intel. So the Devil's Canyon chips are expected to be much more reasonably priced. I mean, like right now, if you want to get an unlocked KSQ, you got to go with 4670K, which is going to run you $230 or so. But something more in the I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm guessing maybe $140, $150 price range for I think what will be a dual core unlocked KSQ, and that will also, of course, work with existing Z87 boards. We presume probably with a BIOS update, but also will work in these 9 series boards. So yeah, new sets of motherboards, which is always kind of cool. Provides more options, updated stuff. I don't know too many details as far as what they've been talking about with the chipset so far. But the thing I saw on these boards, at least on the MSI boards, is an NGFF slot, or M.2 slot, which is kind of cool. I'm hoping, because there's various ways of wiring that in, they can actually use SATA protocol, they can use PCI Express X2, or they can do PCI Express X4. Okay. I'm hoping they're giving you full PCI Express X4 bandwidth, because that will give you, I think, 20 gigabits.
Nice.
Right, 6 gigabit, yeah, 6 gigabit. I think up to 20 gigabits of bandwidth, which is insane. Which means, wow, there might actually be headroom on the connection standard, and SSDs might actually have somewhere to go, rather than the bottleneck of the SATA Gen 3 or SATA Rev 3 that they've been working with for so long. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, but MSI, the series is there. It's on WCCF Tech. If you guys are interested, they look pretty cool. Kind of some new aesthetic redesigns. The gaming series, I think MSI has done a great job with in recent years, just as far from the aesthetic perspective, as well as the integration of the various features. And there's a cool looking mini ITX board in the lineup. And then they were teasing a little bit about the X-Power board, which is their highest end overclocking board, which has a thing called CPU D-lid die.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a little bit out there for me. I'm not sure if I would be down for that.
Because delidding, I don't think it's that popular. Mm-hmm. And there's definite pros and cons to it. But that's one of the things with the Haswell refresh that they're talking about that they're going to be doing, apart from all of the just clock speed increases and stuff like that, is they're redoing the either the TIM or I don't know if they're going to go back to a fluxless solder that they used with the Sandy Bridge chips, but they're going to improve the contact or the heat transference between the base, the lid or the plate at the top and the actual CPU die. So that'd be cool too, and maybe the new refresh chips will provide a little bit more overclocking headroom as well.
Yeah,
maybe.
Whatever they do, if they have to change other things too. So there's a couple questions I just wanted to go down the list and show you real quick, Paul. There's a couple statements too. Alan says he doesn't watch any TV, so he's not going to buy it. By the way, then Red War Cube wants to know. Speaking of AMD's Catalyst, how is Mantle working out for you guys in your games? I have not tested it out myself yet.
I've done some Mantle testing. I did a video on my personal channel that I posted last week, which is called "Are We Ready for 4K?" because I wanted to take some really high-end stuff. I did not include this R9 295X2 because wasn't available yet. However, I did water cool two 290Xs, which is probably faster than this, because this, from what I've read so far, is not a great overclocker. You're actually somewhat limited by the heat dissipation factors of that. And I was able to actually get a pretty decent 15% plus overclock on the 290Xs.
Is it a 240 or a 280 on it? The radiator.
140.
It was a 140. Oh, so you did have the So
but it was a 140 for each GPU.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
essentially
a
280.
280.
Yeah.
Math not working out in my head right now.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Mantle is definitely effective, but Mantle offloads a bunch of the overhead from your CPU. Mm-hmm. So in my situation, because I was already running a 4960X in the test bed that's down there, you guys probably can't see it right now, I'm already running like the fastest processor that you can right now, and it's overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz, so not very CPU limited, which means I did see an improvement, but it wasn't that huge, like, wow, it's here, and then it's up to here. But as we were talking a little bit about earlier, if you're in a situation where maybe your CPU is not all that powerful, if you really are really interested in the Mantle games, hopefully there'll be more coming out this year, then you can really get by with a much lower end CPU, spend more on your graphics card, and then run Mantle and get really good performance. So
Nice.
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
just get an awesome CPU anyways, and just still have the
or
option.
you
of
can do
Mantle.
both.
Yeah.
But sometimes people have budget
No,
limitations.
I know. I'm just saying. So I love this guy's name, Colbert Tech Repair. I want to say Colbert Report every time I see it. Yeah.
Colbert or Colbert?
Colbert Tech Repair.
Yeah.
I cannot say your name, man. He's saying, is it worth it to get the A+ certifications and things like it for general knowledge or tech jobs? I would say a lot of jobs actually require you to have it. There was a period of time in my life where I was studying for A+, but that's like the basic. Really, CompTIA has a ton of other certifications, and if you really want to know a lot about it, you can do that, but there's a lot of free options out there, and depending on who you know and who you talk to, you can get a lot of the study guides that go for a lot of money from other people who have already gotten those study guides, and you can just learn it from that. I would recommend that probably if you know somebody who knows somebody type deal. Yeah, your thoughts, Paul?
Jay just said he doesn't watch TV. Jay texted me like, "Oh no, this is pretty recent." Sorry,
Okay, yeah.
Jay doesn't watch TV. I guess. What was your question?
Is it worth getting A+ certification or other CompTIA certs to get a tech job or
If you're
just general knowledge?
if you're trying to break in, how much does it cost? Do
It's
you have to
expensive.
pay? It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
How much? I have no idea how much.
I can't remember. It's been a while, but I believe it was somewhere like between 250, 300 something. It was a while ago that I looked too, and I think mine was like a selection of other things. Plus, you can pay for different modules that you're going to learn. A+ is like the beginning. That just tells a company you know what a keyboard is, what dot matrix printers are, and how to operate on them, and how to fix them, and you know basic everything. And for the most part, that's enough to get you like recognizes you know about computers. It's really like saying you know what you're talking about. A lot of it's like really old information, but they're supposed to be updating the certification over time. You
Yeah.
should be updating every so often. I forget how often they go. That's how little I remember of it, guys. I apologize.
You did A+?
I was studying for it, and
Oh.
I didn't actually ever end up taking the test because I ended up getting the job I wanted
Okay.
without even needing it.
Well, I've never done A+ certification at all. I would say if you have a specific job in mind, or even better, several jobs that are job openings in mind that require it, then that might be a good reason to get it. But I wouldn't say just go and get it just on the off chance that it's going to be needed. But honestly,
Yeah,
I might not be
know.
the best person to give advice.
I was going to say, because neither one of us are using it right now, so I mean, we were using it, but I'm saying
Yeah.
our job requirements do not technically require us to have that or keep those certifications up. But let's say you do have a job in mind that you want to do, you should contact that employer and say, what certifications, what education should I have for this position? That's the best thing you can do, because then you're talking to the person who's going to be hiring you, and then you ask them that. And sometimes just in that conversation, you can gather interest for that position, and you can talk about the things you already know about tech. That will get you further sometimes than just saying, I've got A+ certification, I applied, and never having had talk to somebody. Talking to somebody chest to chest is always better. Get those connections first, ladies and
Is
gentlemen.
that how you talk to people, Steve?
I always talk to. I prefer talking to people than shooting an email or
I've never heard chest to chest.
chest to chest. It's a stupid marketing
I hear-
term. Ignore what I just said.
I hear face to face a lot.
Chest to chest. You know, this is a chest to chest thing right here.
Just be like, how's it going, Steve? Enjoying the live stream? Okay, this is awkward.
That's probably loud too. Apologize, guys.
Oh, sorry.
I've only got a couple more things that I favorited from tweets that I wanted to mention.
I gotta
Let's
watch
see.
that. I gotta watch that happening. 10
Not
seconds.
while you're doing that.
It's gonna be awkward.
Naman C wants to know, he's looking at buying a GTX 780 and wants to. It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Looking at buying a GTX 780 and he wants a dual monitor setup. I recommend a triple monitor actually if you're going to game with it. Dual monitor is great if you just want to have something extra on the side, but a dual, I mean, it's an odds, right, Paul? You want to have triple if you're gaming, and evens would just be to get that extra monitor.
Wait, sorry. The question was about dual monitor for gaming.
780. He's saying I'm looking at buying a GTX 780, and he wants to buy a dual monitor setup. How would he set up to get sound through it? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even read the last part of that question. The last part of that question is you could run that through the HDMI. You just got to set the sound in the bottom. God dang it. The sound at the very bottom right, when you see the little speaker in Windows. You just got to set that up to be the primary speaker to be the name of the monitor, and then it should work fine.
Yeah, or
HDMI.
Yeah, if you're using monitors, if you're using monitor speakers, you probably don't care about audio quality anyway.
Yeah, I
So-
wouldn't recommend it either. I mean, if you just want to have audio coming out of it, absolutely you could do that. And you just got to pick which monitor you want to be the main. But it's only going to send audio through one of the 2 HDMI cords. So something to think about.
Yes.
I got another one. Oliver Jackson wants to know what games we've enjoyed this year, and I'm going to clump that in with Kevin Collins. He wants to know what games we're playing currently at the moment. So we'll start with what we played during the year. We'll end it with what we're currently playing.
Can I go first because mine's
yes,
boring?
please. No, I would love to. I would like hearing what you play.
I'm still playing about like maybe 1 or 2 hours of Assassin's Creed Black Flag every week. I wanted to say what I played a little bit last night, and I wanted to say what happened, but it would be a spoiler for somebody playing the game. There was a little reveal last night
don't do that.
of something. So, you're familiar with it?
No, I'm saying I haven't played it at all, and I have the game, and I wouldn't want to know.
But yeah, I mean, it's a very enjoyable game, and I haven't had the time to really like plow through it, but I think at this point I gotta finish it eventually, and I'm the type of person, if I start playing a game, I'll keep playing that game until
it's done.
Until I'm done with it, and then I'll move on to something else. But yeah, I mean, I play other games, but it's mostly just like powering them up to benchmark. And I guess if I can add one more, try to evolve at
I was going to say add a future game.
PAX East.
In the future. Yeah.
Try to evolve at PAX East. And that looks, I mean,
it was fun.
It
was really fun.
Top to bottom, that whole experience that they had set up for people
So
at
polished.
PAX was very nice. I mean, some games you go up and they're like, oh, gameplay, here you go, the controls are there, play. Right. This, they like brought you in. They kind of give you a tutorial about the game. They let you. You're sitting there with your group that's set up. So like the 4 people, because it's 4v1. You know, you got one big monster. One guy plays the boss.
Yeah.
4 other people play against him. So you like talk with your team a little bit beforehand, and then when they actually sit you down to play, 4 people on one side and the other person on the other, and both the team of 4 and the guys playing the Goliath have a helper there talking to you in a headset, so they're kind of like saying, "Oh, you know, throw down the thing, the big dome."
Yeah, the shield.
The big shield that kind of locks him into a place, so you can set up an arena to attack him in. So really, really cool experience, really fun game.
Yeah.
And then found out afterwards they're adding a bunch more different like sub characters under each class that are going to have different weapons available. There's going to be different monsters that have different
different areas
things. So
with different things to do in those areas.
I can see that game just being insanely fun to play for many, many hours. So
we should do a live stream of that. Would you guys like to see us do a live stream of Evolve?
that'd be cool.
Would that be fun? Let us know in the comments.
We'll get 2K on the horn.
Yes. So in terms of me and my gaming, oh my God, I'd probably have to even check my list because I jump from game to game to game because I'm always being told, Steve, check this out, jump into this. Hey, Steve, jump into this game. Hey, Steve, here's a game, buy this. Oh, I like that game. I'll buy that. And then I start playing that for a little bit. Or I just have a huge list of games I haven't played. So in terms of my future games, I think I really want to play Grey Goo, because it seems like my energy level keeps going down lately after work, and gaming is kind of my escape from work. So it's my escape from life in some ways too. So I just go home, play a game.
Deep, Steve. Too deep.
Too deep. And sometimes I just don't even want to go to work because I just want to play it. No. Yeah, so I enjoy my time playing games, and I want it to stay an enjoying thing. But I do enjoy playing with you guys too. So if there's anybody out there that wants to play games with me, just hit me up. I don't mind.
We should do a live stream party when Grey Goo launches.
That'd be cool.
We'll play Grey Goo.
Yeah.
And we'll drink Grey Goose. Because that's what I think of every time you say Grey Goo. I'm like, vodka?
Yeah, and when I do at Grey Goo, in Twitter, it does Grey Goose. It wants it. Yeah, because Grey Goose far less prominent in with Twitter followers than Grey Goose is.
You know, a progressive RTS with what are they, nanobytes or whatever they're called?
Yeah, the nanotechnology. What's the name of that?
Just goes hand in hand with the high-end triple distilled potato-based alcohol. I was trying to say a fancier way of describing Grey Goose, but I really fell flat. But
yes, Jay, you can come along. Yes, you can.
Bernacules is going to be on the Wayne Show.
What? That's awesome.
Again? He's going to be there twice?
Yeah, he's been on there before.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I should see if I can go back on the Wayne Show again.
You should see if you go in right now while he's trying to prep for his show.
I got to go home.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm
go home and lock myself in
and be a recluse.
I think I'm going to mow the lawn tomorrow. All right, this is getting boring.
So Moving right along, I've got a couple more things left to say. Brian Walker wants to know when Newegg is going to hire them. It's his time to shine with the team. Shoot an email to Newegg. Let them know that you're still interested in something like this, and I have to let the powers that be control that, sir. I cannot tell you whether you will or not be hired by Newegg, but it's always fun to try, right? It's worth the experience. Damon wants to know, when is Jenny going to do a build? I actually do not know. We can work that out with her whenever she gets back. She's currently on vacation right now.
I think I have a build coming up in a couple weeks.
Cool.
I actually have several builds in the pipeline I need to get on top of gathering some more parts for, but I'm sure that'd be that's an excellent reminder for me because she's talked to us. She's done a few builds, or at least watched a little bit, and she did the build on Kyle's channel where they put that together, but that was a weird one because of the case that she chose. But yes, I'll see if I can bring Jenny in and do a build with her. That'd be cool.
Okay. Luke wants to know. Oh no, that's another one. I think I'm good now on the Twitters.
You good on the Twitters? Did you get back to real time?
I think I am good now. Yes. Anything else?
We should issue a challenge. A challenge to Linus Tech Tips.
Okay. We should first apologize for last week.
Last week?
Week before last week, because Ches said, "Oh yeah, I've got this great hashtag. We're gonna get everybody to hashtag this thing," and then people got banned for it. And that's because Linus Tech Tips is now on like a no holds bars type deal. So if they tell you to stop saying something,
please stop. We don't want to cause anyone to not be able to participate or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be in good fun to some degree.
Yes.
But here's I think we should play against, like, our team should play against Linus Tech Tips team in a Grey Goose championship.
I don't even know how many people we can play though. It's like 1v1, I think.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're gonna do this. I also don't think this would happen because neither of them drink, from what I understand. We're not heavy drinkers ourselves either.
So you're literally going to add Grey Goose to this. I'm going to end up sending an email to Grey Goose and say, "Hey, we're going to do a live stream. We need your sponsorship. We need, several very large liter bottles of your beverage."
We'll do an Evolve challenge with them. Linus will be the Goliath.
Okay.
And we'll get me and you and Luke and Kyle or something like that, and we'll do like a Evolve marathon.
Okay.
And kill Linus as a Goliath over and over.
He has the advantage right off the bat.
He does.
The Goliath has the advantage immediately. That's how Mr. Lamb was able to kill us the very first time we ever played the game, because we were lost. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. I fired a sniper bullet at him, and then he came around and just whooped the hell out of us.
You played with Mr. Lamb?
Didn't you? No, you did.
I did, and we beat him.
Never mind.
I don't know who you played against.
My story is flawed. I thought you had played against him. No, Nick was on my team. Nick, we were on the 4.
So you were playing against
yes,
random.
And for some reason I remembered that person as being Mr. Lamb.
Well, because when I played, Mr. Lamb was the Goliath,
and that's where
it was a really, really good match. It was.
Was it really accurate?
From having never played a game to like I said, with the guys talking over your shoulder and everything, it was really intense. It was down to the wire. We had lost half of our team. It was one of those go at the end. Oh, you can take him down. Just almost dead. And then we barely beat him. But it was really cool.
That's awesome, because we did not even come close. We got him 3/4 of his health, and he just annihilated us. The guy, So he found many things to beat.
There's people who go to events like that and go to a game day one, first thing, and then just keep going to that game over and over again. So you have a bunch of people coming in who've never played this game before, but you've had 4 or 5 rounds with it, so you're actually getting better. And then you can just kick people's butts. But anyways, we should fin.
Yeah, we'll end this, guys. I know we could do this literally all day with you. We love talking with you guys. We love chatting. Paul, he's a little tired. He gets sleepy sometimes. So we are going to end this show, guys. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for watching. And we totally forgot to tell you what you were going to tell Linus. So what is the challenge? Is that it? We're just going to issue this challenge?
Just ask Linus if they want to do an Evolve showdown.
Yeah, an Evolve where he plays as the Goliath and we play as the team. Ask him if he's down for that. Yeah. And we'll do a launch party. He can connect in. It'll be great. We'll stream the whole thing. So. Yeah, anyways, all right.
And pizza, we should have pizza.
Pizza's good. I like pizza. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys once again for being such great patrons of us and our crazy sense of humor. But we are going to have to leave and enjoy the rest of our weekend. So we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend as well. I'm Steve.
I'm Paul.
And I go really, really like ramp it up, and then I just drop. Here's Paul. Like I don't even set you up for introductions at all, do I? I'm so sorry. Yes. So I'm Paul. I'm Steve.
Thanks for watching today's show, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Have a fantastic weekend and be safe.
And have a great night. Take care, everybody.